Welcome back to a brand new video. Setting up like this is killing your golf game. So today we're going to look at it really nice and simply. We're going to highlight 3 scenarios we never want to be in with setup. We're going to talk through every department of the game, driver all the way through to putting, how I want you to set up to it. I've said this before and I'll say it again. How you set up to the golf ball will literally distinguish how you swing the golf club. So you better get it right. Let's get into today's video. You'll notice something very new about my bag. The woods have arrived and my wedges have arrived. I am so excited to hit this. I've not actually hit this on camera yet. So we've got to do a shot trace, haven't we? Got to do a shot trace. You'll see me hit the new wedges. So let's start here saying about S posture, C posture, then we're really sat on these heels and sort of too close to it, and then a simple routine to fix all of that, and then we're going to talk through each department of the game, so enjoy this. So what is S posture? S posture is when we have too much, or basically simply our tailbone and our bum sticking out this way. Now this can put a lot of pressure on our lower back. This can come from having a weak core, okay? It's one of the things that can cause this. Now what I want to make this really nice and simple, anytime we're sort of this S posture or this C posture, now this can come from working a lot at a desk all day, it's going to be very, very hard for you to move through your body properly. Okay? It'll be very, very hard for you to move. So what we want to feel is that we're going to have what will feel like a very switched on core and a ready position. We'll talk through how to get that. Other characteristic I don't want to see is on these heels and sort of sat very upright like this. Again, it's been very, very hard for us to move athletically. This is the one that I see most commonly with sort of people who have played this game for a while and have had back issues, because this sort of feels a lot more comfortable and feels almost like we're protecting this, because anytime we get over the golf ball like this, I think we get a little bit worried about this area here. So one thing, a little bit of this disclaimer here, be very, very careful when you're talking about this and doing this. Do all of these to the best of your ability. So let's start off with a general routine, then we'll talk through the rest of the bag. So really nice and simple, take our grip, making sure it's in the fingers, lower that golf club till the club runs parallel to the ground. Now you'll notice my feet are just on shoulder width apart. If you come to the face on position here, as we do this, you notice my feet are just on shoulder width apart, and I've always liked to feel as though my feet are slightly spread. Now anytime they're slightly spread, it's just going to help me move the hips a little bit better on the backswing and on the downswing. Okay, so once you're in this position here with the legs nice and straight and a good stance width, all I want you to do here is simply tilt forwards from these hips until the club hits the ground. Then slightly bend the knees. Now really do this slowly if you're worried about your back, but come back down to the down the line perspective here. You can see how athletic I am stood to this golf ball. A nice simple analogy, if I was a keeper in football, I'd be ready to go. If I was an American footballer, ready to be sort of attacking somebody, I'm in a position where I feel as though I'm nice and athletic. And you can see simply, I could actually move so much better from this position as opposed to this position, and this position. So really nice and simple. Every time we get a club in our hand, lower, straight legs, tilt till it's the ground, slightly bend the knees. Now we're in a nice athletic position. It's actually different for me now. I know obviously driver's been a normal standard length, but this year, I'll share these clubs with you at some point, I have gone non-one length. Shock, breaking news. So, driver. Nice and simple. What I want you to do is, I want you to already have your practice swings done. Hands on the golf club. Club out in front of us, nicely tilted. Address this golf ball just inside the middle of your feet. Turn the left toe out, move the right foot away. Slight bit of tilt, so you can see here how this sort of butt end of the club is pointing to the left side of my body. Tilt over, slightly bend the knees. So straight away, I have a simple routine to get into on the golf course. How easy is that? I've done my 2 practice swings, I'm in. My time to go. Square myself up with my alignment. I always use my line on my ball for that. Left toe, up, tilt, in. Now we're good to go to hit away. Couldn't be any simpler for driver setup. I'm gonna have to keep posing that. Oh my bejesus. I think I've ever hit a drive so far in my life. Granted, a little bit toey. That's the best bit, that makes you hit draw, right? So that is a nice simple way to get into driver. Now, let's head down this fairway. So we just place the golf ball down here, around 150. Good sort of 7-iron, 8-iron territory. So, let's talk about setup with an iron. With a driver, we know we're looking to hit up on this. With an iron, we know we're looking to hit down on this. I also want to talk about this as well. We'll talk about ball above and below our feet, and that's super important as well. So, let's get actual yardage here. 174. I was close to 150. What would you hit here? Get in those comments, everybody. What would you hit? Would you be looking sort of more hybrids or sort of that sort of end of our game? Because what I'm saying to you right now is, you know what? We've missed a bit there, haven't we? We've missed the gun there. Let's go. I want to open my new club out. So if we're setting up to a fairway wood from the fairway, this is how I want you to set up to it. I want you to take a ball position, which is a club head inside your lead heel, and then really feel as though our shoulders and everything else is set up to it as we are hitting an iron. All we've done is move that ball position forwards, because what we don't want to do is get too much of the shoulder tilt. You can really see how I'm going to hit up on this golf ball a little bit more. My bottom of the arc would be happening way before, and that's an absolute recipe for disaster. Imagine this, right? The ground sort of here, where my watch is the golf ball, okay? We don't want to bottom out early, start working up. We're in sort of that top territory, whereas if we stayed a little bit more like an iron setup with a forwards ball position, we can crash down and through it. And I would mirror that as if you're hitting 5 wood, 3 wood, if you're hitting a hybrid, feel as you've got the ball position, a club head inside our left heel, and the shoulders and everything are set up like an iron, as we're about to discuss right now. Now when we're setting up to an iron, I like to feel this. So my ball position for every single club, I work from middle of my zip. So that's where I would start with a standard pitching wedge position. What I want you to feel that the ball position works half a ball forwards as you go through the back. So nice and simply, I like to feel my 7-iron is somewhere just to the right half of my Puma logo, not too far up and not too far back. Very, very important in terms of controlling club face. I also want us to feel as we've got fairly level shoulders, and again that ready stance. Nice and simple. Not too much of this, not too much of this. Really athletic, nice relaxed hands hanging down underneath our chin, giving us the greatest chance of hitting a good shot away. So into this now, a nice simple routine for us to stick to is starting with our feet, feeling as though they're ball in the middle of our stance. Left foot away, right foot away the same distance. That would get us starting with the ball position right in the middle. All we're going to do now is, to start with, you get used to this, you could leave the golf club actually on your zip line. Take a little shuffle to your right, into that setup position, ball position's good, alignment's great, shoulders are good, now time to hit. Let's now move down this fairway to talk through how exactly we're going to stand to this chipping and pitching. We'll cover both of them off in the same bit. How we set up this golf ball. Now this is so important because in the long game, right, it's a longer swing, we've got more time to compensate, shorter shot, shorter swing, less time to compensate. So what I want you to do here is really nice and simple, and this is a great analogy. Start off with a pitching swing where we have a club width apart. So we're on 2 club head widths apart with our stance. The lower half is slightly open to our upper half, and our weight is just on our left. All I want you to do is keep our weight on our left throughout this whole motion, just as I'm going to do here. Really feeling like that gives you a best chance possible of creating a strike down at the ball. Let's now wander forwards. Let's talk about chipping. Okay, very, very similar to what we want to do with what we're pitching with. One difference, same but different. 2 differences. We want to feel as though we've got a stance on a club head width apart, and we want to feel just a pinch more weight on our left. But essentially everything is pretty much the same. Shoulders, hips a little bit open to our shoulders, weight on our left. We now give ourselves the best chance of hitting down on this golf ball. Exactly what we're looking for. Bruise on the way down. Referee, we've hit the pin. Okay, final part of this video, let's talk about putting setup. Really nice and simple. I like a stance where I feel as though my toes are straight. This feels like I lock my legs in a little bit more. Grab your golf club, palms up and in. To see sort of how I have a nice bit of bend in these arms. Slightly relax them, tilt over the golf ball. So if you come to the down the line perspective here, I want you to feel as though your biceps and triceps are relaxed on the side of the body, and feel as though we have a slight kink in our arms. I'm not looking for this, I'm not looking for this, I'm looking for you to feel, relax, over, grab your putter. Now we're in a situation where we feel as though we can naturally rock that putter head, and that's what I want you to do. Don't think about your strokes, set up to the golf ball better when putting, and you can make a natural stroke, make a natural arc. Thanks so much for watching today's video. I really hope you enjoyed looking at each element of how you set up to the golf ball. I think the thing I want you to get away from this, ball above, ball below, are super key areas, and we all know most golf courses aren't truly flat. Thanks for watching, and see you tomorrow at the same time.